what we do in this life. It's not that we punch our ticket, we say, Jesus, I believe in you, and then whatever we do after that doesn't matter. What we do actually does matter. We're not saved by our works, but we're saved for works. And those works can actually be an example and an outworking.
What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
Yeah, so in the book of Ephesians, Paul writes, and he says in chapter 2, "And you were dead in your transgressions and sins, in which you formerly walked according to the course of this world, also formerly conducted ourselves in the lusts of our flesh, doing the desires of our flesh. But God, being rich in mercy, because of his great love, which he loves us, even when we were dead in our transgressions, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved and raised up. He has seated us with him in the heavenly places in Christ. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, so that no one may boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, so that we would walk in them." So in other words, there's nothing you can do or I can do that is going to placate God. We're not going to be able to earn our salvation, because compared to the standard of the holiness of God, it's always going to fall short. We're broken, whether we realize it or not. And I sometimes say, worried about the evil out there when there's a lot of evil in here. What God has done on our behalf is through Christ Jesus. He has saved us, like Paul says, that we are saved by faith in grace, and it's not works. So in one sense, the law is like a mirror. When we see God's law and his holiness displayed in his character that calls us to righteousness, that calls us to do good things, that's like a mirror showing us how dirty we are. But we make a mistake when we think that we need to grab the mirror and wash ourselves with it. Right? That's not going to clean us. We need something external. We need a jump in the shower. That's what's truly going to clean us. The law has a purpose, and a good purpose, and that's to show us that we're dirty. But it's through faith alone, in Christ alone, to the glory of God alone, that we're saved. That's something that he has done. We're saved by works, just not ours. Christ, who has done them perfectly. When I say we're not saved by our works, but we're saved for our works, what I mean by that is that the works are actually evidence to show that God has truly done something in our life.